All right. So, welcome, priestess sisters, to this conversation about how to integrate our experience as priestesses on the path of the priestess apprentice. We gain these different tools, both energetic internal tools as well as physical tools. And if you're in the embodied priestess lineage, these include our wand, our athame, our priestess crystal, our percussion instrument for the earth element, and our chalice. And so I'm here with our beautiful, beloved priestess sister, Lorraine, who she and I always we were just saying that I just love having she always brings up the best questions. And this was the question at the last circle that she brought up. And then we end up having these epic conversations. And so we're bringing this one now as a recording to serve all priestesses in this lineage and beyond. And so, Lorraine, I'm going to have you begin by just framing your question.
Yes. My question is how to embody all of these amazing tools that you've brought to us during the course. That over time, I've started to feel inside of me as real and permanent. For example, our deep focus on nature and on the daily, being out there in it, feeling the sun on my face. There's a creek down the street from my home. Even putting my hands in the soil. So that's real and true and permanent for me. And I want that to be the case with my other priestess tools. And I trust that that's coming. I can feel it coming. And the more I put attention on these tools and engage with them like real life beings that I connect with like a person, the more I trust that that is coming, just like my connection to nature that actually took some time. And now it's non-negotiable. I don't question how much that matters to me or that deep need for regular contact and connection with nature. So I'm wondering how to use these more, make these tools feel alive, access them regularly, and believe with my whole being, not just my mind, that they matter and that they're natural to use. And I just pick them up and I have conversations and we live together and we serve each other.
Hmm. So beautifully said. Thank you. Thank you, beauty. And what came through as you were speaking is this connection with nature that is the foundation for everything we do on the priestess path. Really, the reason that there's one, in the embodied priestess path, that there's one tool for each season, and which is each element,
Mm.
is because they are these access points into the power of that element itself. So the tools themselves are really, like, on a larger level, they're actually access points into that vibration of nature herself, the harmony of nature herself. So that's like a bigger level piece, because here in Embodied Priestess, these are the tools that we're using. And if we were to go, just to other priestesses studying in different lineages, they might have different tools. Maybe there's an emphasis more on the oracular arts, and maybe they're really using like runes, or they're using, tea leaves, or maybe there's other priestess lineages that are really focusing. I mean, the tantric priestesses or temple priestesses are going to be really focusing on the sexual arts. And so they're going to have different tools. And the main thing I want to say about all of this, aside from any specifics here, is that even if, as priestesses, this is such a big piece, is like, on our spiritual path, no matter what our spiritual path, we're always like having an eye to spiritual materialism. What are the ways that we're externalizing our spirituality? Oh, I need the moon water to be the priestess. I need the wand to be the witch, you know? And it's like the map isn't the territory. And so the tools are these access points into our own power, which is the power of nature, because we
Mm,
are her daughters. We are an embodiment of her body. And
mm,
so, first and foremost, above all else, I can say, just as I say always, like if all the books and all the knowledge were to be erased tomorrow, it would come back organically because it's a transmission from the Great Mother. If all of our priestess tools were to disappear, or if we were to be studying in a lineage where we didn't have priestess tools, because there's that too, you know, like you don't need a wand to be a witch. You don't need an athame to be, you know, to cast a spell. But if all of it were to disappear, Lorraine, you,
mm.
this is your frequency. This is your frequency that you came into the planet with. It's the frequency of priestess, it's the frequency of healer, it's the frequency of mentor. It's like we're all carrying these, you know, I believe all women are carrying all archetypes. It's just what in this lifetime are we here to really, what is our soul imprint that we're exploring in this lifetime and over the course of multiple lifetimes. So that's first and foremost what I want to speak to you, Lorraine, is that you carry the transmission of nature as her full healing expression of harmony that is her truest nature. And that is what you bring into a room.
Mm, mm,
That is what you bring to the women you serve. That
yes.
is what you bring to your beloved.
Mm,
And it's like, even if we, you know, feel, I think the question itself invites this like awareness. I pray for you and for all of us to just like, we don't actually need anything ever to be a priestess. We don't actually need anything ever to be in our full power and expression and healing transmission, offering our deepest service through our just literal being in a room, through just the resonance of who we are, through the connection with our true soul blueprint. So I'm
yes.
going to just pause there and
Yes.
just, before I move on, and just, do you have, what comes up for you when I speak that?
Well, I love what you're saying because I realize I start to feel lost. I forget who I am, as we all do. And
Mhm.
the tools are pointers, they're reminders.
Yes,
Oh, my athame, this gorgeous piece that came to me through my beloved
yes.
with this engraving of a reindeer is so beautiful, and it was waiting for me for many years, and it connects me to my boundaries, which is the teaching that we did when we brought this in. And I just see it. I can glance at it as I walk past my altar doing something else. And I go, oh, yeah, I know how to do that. I'm strong. It reminds me of who I am and the skills that I have, and that I need to embody that masculine piece today and stay with the structure of what's important to me and not get lost or wander away from that. So you're right, it's all inside, and yet these are so useful to me. And as I embody them more and more and more, I will feel that and I will need them less because they are helping me to remember who I am and the balance that I have of the masculine and feminine inside of me, for instance, that I haven't fully embodied. So they are tools in that sense that make it alive inside and remind me who I am so that then I can bring it to other women. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Exactly. That's exactly it. And I totally like what you just said about your relationship with them will change
Mm.
just like our relationship with all the spiritual technologies that we encounter will shift and change. And just as like in this journey together, we've been, it's really like a study of rituals, like kind of the undercurrent theme of what we're doing. And it's all a practice. Like it's like I offer these rituals and then we do the rituals together, and it's beautiful and it's important in and of itself. But actually the deeper purpose, it's actually a practice for literally living our life as ritual,
Mhm.
as in being present in every moment and seeing the ritual of life that's occurring all around us, and being in a co-creation
Mhm.
with that process, co-creation with life, with the goddess, with nature.
Mm.
And I completely agree this that the relationship to these tools, this is so my experience, is that first, that what you expressed about this might have been before we started, where you were like, I realized we only have one more spiral, one more season left, and I like don't know how, I haven't mastered these tools, I haven't like embodied these tools. It's like, first of all, like, and then you answered your own inquiry there, where you're like, oh, but I realize I have forever to do that. And it's true, that doesn't happen overnight. So I really just want to emphasize that. And it is like this is
Mhm.
a never-ending spiral journey. And when you receive a wand and you start to like you're like baby steps and we start to like work with it and then we start to have a relationship with it, it's like a friendship. It
Mhm.
grows over time. And those are the relationships that are worth having and that really teach you and that come with a lot of color and texture. It's like not always, if it were that easy to wield a wand in a month or 2 months when we're exploring the fire element, then it wouldn't be worth it. Like it literally wouldn't be worth it. It's like it's
Yeah.
this teacher, it's here, like you said, it's this relationship where I'm not sure again if you said you're if you brought this genius in before the call or on the call here, which is what you said about asking them. You ask
Yes.
you ask them like how do you want to be incorporated into my life? What do you have to teach me? So
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And I hadn't realized that until we started connecting today about it. And I was looking at them spread out before me, and I started talking to them after we were connecting around nature. And the really cool thing is that I was feeling afraid that my ego was going to stop me from furthering my relationship with these tools because I've had the time and the space to embody the importance, the validity, the depth of value that I feel in my connection to nature, which I didn't have solidified when we started the course. And now
mm,
so strong. And
mm,
I could feel my ego on the edges around the tools telling me it doesn't matter. You don't
mm,
really need these. You'll just
mm,
move on when you're done with your course and go
mm,
on with your regular life. And
mm,
that surge in me of, no,
mm,
this needs to matter. And I want to make sure the masculine, I keep looking at the athame. It's so huge for me today, um, that spine that said, no, you mustn't forget, this is sacred. And we need to hold on to this. We need to pick it up and listen to what it has to say and carry it forward because it does matter. So that's why I said something to you the other day because I needed that support and that reinforcement so I don't forget and minimize how much it matters.
Yeah, and they serve. So even after we're done with our particular journey this round, it's like they will serve as remind. Honestly, I feel like that's maybe the biggest role that they have. is to serve as literally a reminder, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, boundaries. Oh yeah, my own relationship with the divine masculine. Oh yeah, the power to cut through the bullshit. Like that is first and foremost, that feels like one of the biggest gifts I've received from them. And I will also say, I'll agree with I was trying to get to this earlier, but it's like that my relationship with them has actually changed,
Mm.
where I was very dependent. I think there was a time where I went through like a dependency on them, where it was like boundaries, and now like my relationship to boundaries through this teacher and mirror of my own power has evolved so much that it used to be like I had to be in like this constant reminder of boundaries. And that will still come up in certain areas, but it's like by and large, actually, it's really organic for me to state my boundaries in any given moment. And yeah, and like always getting that reflection from people like, oh wow, you're really good with boundaries. Or I'm getting a reflection of like, wow, like my partner said to me the other day, he said, it was something that I was stating that I asked him, I just ask for what I want. That's it. I always ask for what I want in my life, like I'm
Mm.
at a store or I'm with him or it's like, what do I want? I'm going to ask for it, And so I asked him for what he wanted and and he went into his own internal thing that I didn't know anything about, like, oh, I'm really tired and I don't want to provide that for her, but I'm just going to do it because I'm in my like people pleasy, like I need to like serve you. Otherwise I won't get love. And then later he came back to me and he said, he expressed that and there was like drama for him around that and I just witnessed it and then he came back again, he went through his process, he came back and he said, I see, you're a strong woman, I have to be a strong man. It's that simple, so it's like, but I can say this athame has been my teacher in that because it's a constant daily reminder to me of the qualities of discernment that live in the direction of the east with the air element.
Mm.
So it's really important and foundational for like, I want to keep coming back to the relationship between the tools and nature. And
Mm.
that these are it's
Mm.
almost like literally we could have chosen a different tool for every element. And there are two elements that I chose a tool for you all that it wasn't my first year tool in that element. But I have seen in my experience that that was more valuable to me. So that's what I brought to you. But we could have chosen another tool. And then next year, next spiral, we could choose, literally this is how I was, I went through a 3-year spiral. And so we had our priestess tools for the first year, second year, third year. And the whole point is the drum that's coming, like the north, direction of the north, the earth element. It's like, it could be a drum, it could be a shaker, whatever, but it's not even the point. The point is you're an earth being whose heartbeat has the power to sync back to the heartbeat of Gaia. And when I see my drum, I remember that rhythm. I need to find my own rhythm. I have my own rhythm. And that's the rhythm I bring into a room.
Mm.
That's the rhythm I bring into my business. That's the rhythm I bring into my coaching. But what can happen is that, right, we walk into a room and there's this rhythm. And then it's like, oh, now I'm in this rhythm, And it's like the drum is actually just teaching us our own rhythm and that we can carry that rhythm with us and not need to be pulled into another rhythm by our triggers, by cultural programming, by our beloveds, like whatever, that we can carry our rhythm and then maybe we're going to dance with our beloveds where it's like, oh, he's bringing this and I'm bringing this, but like I'm not just pulled into his rhythm. So I'm going to pause again because I know this is all very big picture, but what comes up for you with this, if
To
anything?
even remember that I have a rhythm. I'm
Mm.
picturing my drum that has come to me, and I can feel how grounding that is, and that I feel people's energy. I'm really intuitive. So I'm aware of what I'm picking up on. And yet you just made me realize I haven't gotten to the point where I drop naturally into my rhythm. I haven't connected with it enough as a practice. I'm aware of my own emotions and thoughts and energy in the moment. And especially as an earth sign, and it's so important to me. I'm very connected to the earth. I can feel the drum as a grounding presence just from the thought of it, and I haven't had the full practice of connecting with it yet. So I can see why you're so good with boundaries. I've always been impressed by that. And it's something that I really look for because it's been a quest throughout my life to make those stronger. And you're very natural at it. That's been my experience of you. Just this fluidity around, yeah, who you are, what you want, where you're coming from. And I want that. I feel that happening more and more, and I know that's coming.
Athame.
Yes, I know. I'm looking at it again. So there's this, and now the drum, and so that's the ground,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, of my own rhythm coming in.
Yeah. Oh, this feels such a beautiful. I love hearing you say all of this because, we could have come in here and been like, moon water, what do we do with it? Wand, what do we do with it? And we've been having those conversations, and those conversations can continue and they can never end because there's literally volumes of books on every single tool that we have. And if you wanted to make it a lifelong or multi-lifelong study, you could totally do that too. But it's so much more simple than that.
Mhm.
If it wants to be. And if it wants to be a lifelong study, then heck yeah, go ahead. I mean, there are people that devote their lives to each one of these tools. But this simplicity of what you shared, that it's really like, where is spirit asking me to grow?
Mhm.
And that those questions, you know, the feminine is very much defies classification, and yet in this world of polarity in which we live, when the feminine and the masculine make love and create this world we found ourselves on and create this earth, there is this logic to the moon blood. Even though it seems crazy that women bleed every month and we maybe sometimes feel crazy when we're in that cycle and we're not aware of it, then all of a sudden, when we get the tool of like, oh, you mean I can track that time where I get crazy and it's the same every month so I can start to like prepare for it and actually prevent it as a result? Or,
Mhm.
oh, I mean, it sounds so silly, but it's like, oh, winter comes every year, we need wood for our fire. Like, and it's so funny that, like, I always say it's like funny that we talk about it like this because our ancestors would never talk about it like this because it's like,
Because their lives depended on it. Ours don't. It's
yeah,
with all of
they,
our conveniences, we don't have to think about it. And yet there's such value to remembering and following those cycles.
absolutely.
I've gotten that from this program so much. I had no idea. I did know. And the awareness has grown exponentially in our time together to the point where I will not forget. And I want more because it feeds me. It feeds
Mm,
me, and I feel myself. And then the connection grows and it spreads. And I feel like a woman
mm,
that has access to herself. I am a woman who has access to myself, no matter what anyone else does or says, no matter what happens out there. And that's the most valuable thing I can imagine. And I'm very grateful to you for bringing that to me in such a deep and honoring way that's so natural to you. You're such a fine example
Mm-hmm.
of carrying these teachings, embodying these teachings, and they just flow out of you and they're so easy to receive. And for me to be me as I admire you being you, and it's really precious. Thank you for being my teacher.
Mm. Thank you so much, Lorraine. It's my honor and pleasure. And I am allowing myself fully to receive that as nourishment for my heart. Thank you. And we're all just like we're all mirrors for each other, just like the tools are mirrors for us
Yes.
and mirrors of our own power.
Mm.
Mirrored back, it's just reminders,
Yeah.
reminders of our own power. And so, my knee-jerk reaction when you were speaking all of that, it's so important for me to stop and receive it consciously and to set that example for us all. But also, like, my immediate response is always like, girl, you are my teacher. You have taught me so much. You keep teaching me so much. Because what moves through your unique field is like unlike anything else on this earth, and we're all just here in this dance to like learn and grow and expand and be fully expressed. And these tools are teachers in that way of just mirroring back. We talked so much about the boundaries, but let's say with wand, I mean, mirroring back your power to create your life.
She wants to be seen in that moment.
Heck yeah.
Me, yes. In my
Beautiful.
little green fuzz from the
Oh,
earth and the trees and the algae. And
so
yes,
beautiful.
she's ready for more attention.
Oh, oh, oh,
You just
oh,
jumped in there. I hear you. You're
oh,
next.
oh.
I'm devoting my day to connecting with her, to infusing my day with her. Mwah. Now she's
I
now
love
she's
that.
alive.
And another way that when you say, I'm devoting my day to my wand, what I hear also is, I'm devoting my day to studying with the fire element. I'm
Mm-hmm.
devoting my day to understanding my own nature as fire. I'm devoting my day to understanding my spiritual nature. The spiritual body maps to the fire element.
Mm.
I'm devoting my day to understand how energetic current moves from the earth up into my body and down from the center of the cosmos down through my crown to create and animate. And so I want to be in deep relationship with this system of, this chakra system that moves through my body, or this energy that's present within me. And to understand that that electricity that moves through me is what creates my life, and that I have a choice of what
Mm.
I give my attention to is going to shift the energetic current that's moving through me. So
Mm.
that to me is what the wand is. It's like a symbol for something that's so much, in some ways, so much simpler, and in many ways more profound. And so there's that. And the only other piece I'll say about all of this is that I keep speaking about them in this way because I do feel it's the most important way to think about them. And I don't want to denigrate that objects actually do have magic powers. So I do just want to like also throw that in there. It is like, the moon water works first and foremost because we believe it works. and
Yes.
and we literally did place it out under a full moon that was carrying the energetics of that sign. And so it's like, it's both and. It's like
Mhm.
the wand actually magnifies your own power. And humans have always been in connection with magical symbols and objects, so there are, crystals carry their own resonance, but beyond that, I mean, they're mirrors. They're just exaggerators of our own inner power as one with all of creation. So that's the last thing
Yes.
I'll say
And
about.
when you said all of that about the wand and the purpose, I could feel it. It came to life. And as I was sharing with you earlier before we started this, all the jagged energy and I've been breathing, but not landing and still feeling frustrated. When you laid all that out around energy and electricity, I landed
Mm,
and circled around this wand, around this piece of earth, this wood that is for spells. And you just gave me a blessing that I could feel that I've been looking for all day and I couldn't get on my own by myself.
mm,
So,
mm.
and I now have that memory with me whenever I access this piece of magic.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
Because it's alive, like all of nature is alive, and it has a consciousness, and it's collecting, like we're all collecting from our experiences.
Yes, and like this amethyst crystal that I
The
chose
recorder
for
of the
our
priestess.
course. Yes, so
Mhm.
that we can put that in, that energy of each group that we share together, that cumulative impact. So, yeah,
Mm.
all the pieces are blessed.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah. In their power becomes real that you devote, like when you bring the crystal to our circles, like that makes that's building this relationship and making it, if you handed that to another person and it meant nothing to them, you know, I truly believe that you've been blessing, and putting this positive vibe into it. So it would, it'd be even more effective if you explained it to them, but it would be a blessing in and of itself. Like it would carry healing power. But it's like the point is like your devotion is
Mm,
what makes where attention goes, energy flows. You give your attention to the energy of the air element, the energy of boundaries, and then you are blessed by it and you bless it, and then it becomes this spiral of building power within you and in the tool, and then in the end, like we are one with them too. We're one with all of it.
yeah.
So yeah.
Mm,
Well, I
mm,
am so grateful to you for bringing up this question. It's so important, and it really, I feel, cuts to the core of all of this because in 10 years, what will remain
mm,
from this spiral that we've taken here?
mm,
It's like, I pray and believe that you'll still have your priestess tools, but maybe you won't be interacting with them on the daily, or maybe they'll be sitting in a glass case, or, but like what really remains from your athame, even when you're not like asking it anymore, when you're like your old friends now and you're like really used to each other. And so
yeah.
you don't need to like be in constant conversation. You just hang out in the same house and like you're carrying the same vibration and resonance. Like what will have remained? I pray. I mean, there's a million things we could answer this with, but I pray is like your own knowing of your worth and your value and your power and your capacity to speak truth in any given moment, regardless of circumstance and regardless even of your own triggers and your own internal programming.
Mm. Yes, that's my prayer as well. Yeah.
Mwah!
Mwah! Thank you
Oh,
so much for bringing
thank
this more to life. I feel it and I'm really excited to move forward.
thank you so much for being so in devotion to your
Mm.
practice and in devotion to like wanting to get the most juice out of your life and being so committed to your path of growth that brought these questions through and will continue to unfold your relationship to these mirrors of your own power,
Yes.
your own nature.
Yes. And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank
Mwah.
you, beauty. All right. Take care. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
You too. Bye.